Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's Dan Schwartz here with the 80/20 Investor Academy. This video is all about understanding the best traits, personality types, and characteristics of who you're looking for in a salesperson for your real estate investing business. The closer, the person that's talking to the sellers, getting deals under contract. This is your acquisitions manager, and we're going to run through a training, an excerpt from our last 80/20 intensive that we did back in June of 2022 called the AM Blueprint. And this segment is specifically called the AM Skill Pyramid. And it's going to help you understand what are the main characteristics of salesperson that you're looking for. Make sure to like and comment if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this type of content. And of course, share this video with one of your real estate investor buddies that might benefit from this information. Enjoy, and I'll see you guys on the next video. So one of the first things that we train 80/20 members to do before you bring on a new employee is to define the role, right? Get super clear on what their accountabilities are. And the long and short of it, acquisitions managers, their number one goal is to get contracts signed, right? Secondary goal, to maximize the value of those contracts, obviously, which is working in tangent with the dispositions team if you're wholesaling, with your property management team if you're doing long-term buy and hold. By the way, I should make a note that no matter what you're doing, if you're wholesaling, flipping, buying and holding, scaling a hard money loan business, like whatever you're doing, this stuff can apply, right? You're going to need someone out there making the deals happen. You're going to need someone if you're trying to accumulate 100 short-term rental properties. You want someone else looking through all the deals that are coming across your desk so you can focus on building the portfolio as a whole. So this role can apply to whatever exit strategy you're doing. If you're in the land business, the same thing. Please just, if we're talking wholesale speak, just apply that to whatever niche you're doing. Just wanted to say that real quick. So let's talk about the AM skill pyramid. This is a fun one that kind of Brandon and I jammed on when we talked about this to get you guys to understand what skills matter and what skills actually don't matter that much that you might have been led to believe matters. Should we start? Yeah, we'll start at the bottom. So the number one thing you want to look for in your acquisitions manager is work ethic and energy. Brandon, what does that mean in your organization?
Yeah, huge. So it's obvious in our office if somebody has a similar skill set as one of the other individuals, who's the better performer in terms of revenue, who makes more money for themselves and the company. And it's typically the person you can just sit there and watch them make more dials, watch them be more intentful with their conversations, walking around, just talking and picking up the phone. Right. And also when you talk to them, they're excited, they have a great energy. They're going like that person, and they're that way every day because that's just who they are as an individual. But they're probably going to work like that at any job that they go to. So for me, that's always the first thing I'm trying to find out in an interview. With short time frame, we do assessments and everything, but do I believe this person has a really strong work ethic, and do they have a good energy about them? Because they're on the phones every day, and that's got to transfer through.
Yeah, you also mentioned too that they're like hungry for money, but they're also like motivated to become someone.
Yeah, a lot of these guys here that are with us now, have been with us for years. They are, money's super important, but they see where it's going. They see where they're going. They want something more. They want something bigger. And I'm not looking for the person that's just coming in for a paycheck, whether it's 100, 150K. They want to become more. They love the self-development about it. And I always ask them, do you read books, podcasts, any of these things? Are you doing any self-education? If they say yes, then I ask them what, right? So I love when people in interviews can tell me books or podcasts or anything that they're going over. Love when they can tell me that, because that means that they care a little bit more than just joining a job.
Yeah, you're not hiring career used car salesmen, right? So motivation, attitude, energy, work ethic, kind of all has the same thing of just like who they are as a person. Nope. Are they willing to put the work in? And does it show not only in their interview, but as you'll see in the interview process, there's like there's a period where you actually get to work with them and you do a phone test with them, which we'll talk about, and you can actually see how hard they work.
Yep.
Is the fundamental, if that's not there, then they shouldn't even be considered for the next step of the interview.
Definitely not. And it doesn't fit in the culture either, at least in ours. All right. When somebody's not performing or being lazy or coming in late, the whole team will voice it out loud. Everybody. Yeah. They'll call each other out. It's big in our company on that type of thing, because it just pisses everybody else off that somebody else is being lazy. So
yeah,
that's
important. I mean, it is what it is, but like the best closers are they're winners. Like they're obsessed with winning, right?
Yep.
Competitive. Like if you're playing ping pong with them, you should see them get angry if they are losing. Like that's the type of personality, not from an ego standpoint,
right?
But just from like an inner, like they just want to win.
Yeah.
Right. So look for that. That's the base level of the AM skill pyramid. The second thing that will make the rest of your hiring process easier, if you get this right, it's going to save so much time, is their phone skills. Tell us about that a little bit, Brandon.
Yeah. I forgot how many years ago we started doing this. Before we did this, we'd hire people. We thought we made the right decision, super confident. Everything's going well in the interview, like killing it. Like this guy's a salesperson. Gets on the phone, boom. Lost all confidence, like slow, didn't want to make the next dial. So this is 100% of everybody goes through this phone process. And we actually put them on the phones with a live seller. Recently, we changed that to I'll bring them into this conference room I'm in now. I'll have them call one of our sales guys, and who will be a seller, and they're a good seller. They're throwing out all kinds of different curveballs, asking them for offer, this and that, and my whole team is listening over there. So I'm sitting in the room listening to them talk while they're on speaker, and then the rest of my team is listening to this candidate on speaker in our office. And this is huge, along with what Eric said a while ago. We tend to see some of the best acquisitions people make the first initial dial very quickly. They don't hesitate very long. I give them about 4 minutes to look at the script. I'll ask them if they have any questions. I'll tell them these are the possible objections you'll get on this first call real quick. They say, okay, and they dial. They don't wait. They don't keep asking. They're not asking for another 10 minutes. They're dialing very, very quickly, and they're confident on the phone. So I'd say 20% of the candidates will dial quickly, maybe less. And I mean fast. Like they look at it and like, all right, let's do this. Those are the guys that have been our top performers, and they're always. It's not the only thing that's important, but that along with everything else, they've been really high performers in our company. They just want to go. Yeah,
that's so good.
They're not scared.
You're also going to get a sense for their communication skills, how good they are at building rapport with people. What is the first 5 to 10 seconds?
Yeah.
How are they vibing with the seller? How do they adjust their tone to different types of sellers? Like all these innate skills that you shouldn't have to train for that.
Rapport is one that a lot of people fail on very easily. We'll have, David will be in our office. He's our seller for every candidate. So that way it's consistent, and he'll always throw things about the kids, making food for the kids, or he's moving. He's throwing things out there intentionally to see how far they'll take it, or if the candidate will actually even conversate on it. And a lot of people won't, and that immediately disqualifies them, in my opinion, because I don't have a month to try to figure out. I have 10-minute conversation to try to figure out. So if they can't just ask simple things, and they're DQ'd right there.
When we talk about the interviewing, we'll talk about the actual phone test process. But what were you gonna say, Eric?
Cool.
Real quick, something that we've done in our office to really kind of evaluate the phone skills and or to improve phone skills rapidly is not just role play. Role play is great, and we do that. But anybody that we're trying to improve, have them read their script, record themselves going through the script, and then have them listen to it again. So they're listening to their own voice, and they're listening to themselves go through the script. At first, most people avoid this because it's painful to listen to your own voice. That's literally why people don't do it. but it is one of the fastest ways to improve. And this is what my high dollar sales coach taught me. This is like whenever, and I was around some really high end sales training, it almost always boiled down to reviewing your own damn tape. And the winners did it.
Not afraid of listening to their tape. That's a big one.
Yeah, I agree. Even with like with Eric's process, because I imagine Eric, you're doing it like before they even do an interview. I know some guys they do it before they even do an interview. They send the script, record themselves, go back listen to it, and they want to actively see if that person improves since they listened to it. Because that obviously shows like if you improve, that means you like show the tenacity to improve over time. If you just improve in 5 minutes,
Totally, 100%.
Yeah, and to people were asking how this applies if you're a virtual operation, you just do it on Zoom, right? Or not even Zoom, you just have them make a call on the phone in this case. Moving on. So get these two right though, and this is like the 80-20 right here. It's like if your person has these two traits, you can make it work. These other traits, the reason why this is a triangle and it gets less and less towards the top, but that they don't matter quite as much. But this one actually does matter quite a lot. And it is, are they a team player? In other words, do they fundamentally care about the success of the whole team, of the whole company? Or are they narcissistic and just care about their own success at the risk of the whole company? Because I feel like these types of people are more likely to steal your leads and run off and do their own thing within a month versus the team player that is truly in it for the long term, or at least the medium term. They're coachable. They will lift others up on the team. They'll have that competitive atmosphere, and they'll actually like be okay at listening to feedback. Can you speak to this a little bit, guys?
Yeah. In our office, I probably said this multiple times now, but one of the most important things for us, did a team exercise this past week in the morning. And I told everybody to say something they're grateful for today. To start off the day, please say something you're grateful for. And most of the team mentioned something about the team and the individuals they get to work with every day and why that actually motivates them to stay late during the day and things like that. And so I give everybody the opportunity to hear, to meet, to shake hands, to talk to somebody that comes in our office, because although it is my ultimate decision, I believe that they should be able to provide feedback and let me know if this is somebody that they can see themselves working with. Because it does, the culture is everything. We don't have people quit. And I think it's at the end of the day, everybody likes each other here in the office, and they're all hard workers working to retire early. So culture is huge for us. And I like to have fun with the people I'm in the office with every day.
Can they hang?
Can they hang? Can they hang? Big time.
Yeah, and I know you do that when they come in for like the in-person interview. You have them kind of you go out to lunch with them and the team just to see how they get on with the team, right?
Yeah. Sometimes they'll play ping pong with the team. We'll take them out to eat. As might be a third or fourth round, just to talk to them. Not even all about work, just to get an idea of who this person really is. So yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, that, and then what we do is just ask the core value question, just to see where the core values, because our 3 core values is 1, that we do what it takes, 2, we help others, and then 3, we solve problems. So I usually ask a question, 4 people that you look up to, and I ask them just list off one word traits about each person. And usually the most common words that they use are what they look at as their own core values. And like I've disqualified, and it's sometimes like it's hard at first when like you feel like it's a good candidate, but then like one of the core values just doesn't fit. I'll tell you right now, if you bring on that person and their core values don't fit, you're gonna regret it. So like that's one of the lessons I've had to learn. But when people are like, like, hey, like if they describe their parent and they're like, yeah, my dad always loved to help people. That's something that I'm always looking to hear, when they talk about stuff like that. That's what I'm looking for, because that's usually somebody that they're trying to aspire to be as well.
I love that. You hire and fire based on core values, right? So if someone just did something wrong, you have the conversation, what core value wasn't being externalized here, right? You might find like, integrity isn't something they value. Boom, they got to go. And the same thing when you're hiring, you want to make sure you get that right so that you don't have compromised core values later on. There's a whole set of interview questions, by the way, in the files, the Google Drive that I gave you guys access to. We'll talk all about that stuff after lunch, but let's get through the rest of this skill pyramid. So towards the top, the things that most others think matter the most actually matter the least here, which is really interesting. And that is sales tactics and REI knowledge. Experience. Can you guys speak to this fact a little bit, that experience and sales tactics aren't the first trait you're looking for?
That can be taught and learned, but the rest, work ethic, energy, and being a good fit and coachable and all that's much more difficult to instill in somebody. So, we tend to, all the guys at Kyler, $1 million plus per year in assignments, bartender. Riley, used car sales guy, 22 years old, came in $1 million plus. He I think 150 per month for the last 3 months. And so a lot of these people are just, they don't have that. They're just hard workers that want to be more. And that's all I care about. And they got to sound good on the phones. We'll teach the rest.
Yeah, agree.
I think you'll find this is a commonality across the best salespeople. Yet a lot of people are trying to hire acquisitions managers from other companies, or they're trying to recruit for people that are already doing real estate sales. And it's on the pyramid, right? It's a skill that is a nice to have. It's not a need to have, right? If you get the bottom three, then the experience develops and you don't have the friction of trying to train an old dog new tricks at the same time, right? You teach them your process.
To further that point, man, I've really found consistently my best results are coming from people that are outside of the real estate industry. Mm-hmm. Whenever I've tried to hire based on real estate experience, it's I'm breaking bad habits, and bad habits are hard to break, and it's been an uphill struggle, as opposed to that fresh outlook that's just coming into the new industry that with the right attitude, that's everything's new, willing to learn, very coachable, and just steps in without this crusted perspective. It's really worked out. So that's my take on it.
Amazing.